Pot in a Pot project. It's fun to put this together, but will this project last? Hello everyone, my name is Risa Ebro, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I made this pot in a pot arrangement and the result after a month. I found a very cool place locally that sells clay pots. Look at how beautiful these planters are. I was looking for shallow planters and I found this oval-shaped shallow planter, but it doesn't have a hole. Thankfully, the seller added a couple for me. After covering the holes with these fine mesh wires, I added the succulent soil mixture. Because I'm here in the Philippines, I adjusted my previous soil mixture from my 50-50 mix, which is 50% inorganic and 50% organic mix, to 70-30 or 70% inorganic and 30% organic components. To learn more on how to create these soil mixes for your succulents, check out my course on how to grow colorful succulents. I have the whole video dedicated to creating succulent soil DIY. The link is in the description below. Next, I added this small vase and placed it in a slanting position. I would like to use a small clay pot also to match the container, but I couldn't find one. So this will do for now. Before adding the plants, I covered the soil with red lava rocks at the lower portion and used this stick as a guide. I've learned that in creating detailed or smaller projects, working with top dressings first is so much easier. For contrast and a cleaner background, I opted for these finely crushed white pebbles. The white color will emphasize the beauty of the plants, and it will go well with our whites and blue vase as well. I wanted this arrangement to look like a vase full of flowers, so I added this twig for their stems. Then I started working with the plants. If you look closer, you'll see the translucent leaves at the base of each plant, which is not a good sign. This cluster of echeverias was included in the first online shipment I received, wherein many of the plants were not thoroughly dried. I wasn't sure if these plants will make it, but I used them anyway because they are the perfect sizes I'm looking for. So I cut them one by one from the cluster and removed the damaged leaves. Succulents are delicate. They are even more sensitive when they are not very healthy. I have to remove all the damaged leaves to prevent the progress of their destruction. Mind you, I find this task very relaxing. I repeated the same process to the rest of the plants. When the plants were ready, I enjoyed arranging them. If you create a project like this, it's up to you where you want to position the plants. But I suggest placing them close to the stick will make it look like they're attached to the stems. this was the finished project. Now the question is, did this project last? Here's what happened after 4 days. Some plants were okay, but there are areas with translucent leaves. And this is not a good sign because it means that destruction continues. These 3 here are not doing good at all. See those translucent leaves? See these areas here? The whole plant can get destroyed. After a month, some plants made it, but those with badly damaged leaves are completely toasted. So the lesson here is to try using healthy plants when working with your projects. So let's take a look at them. This one is already alive, and this one too. But this one is toasted to death. So this is no good. Let's take this out. This one here, a part of it is still green, so we will leave it there. But this one did not make it either. And this one too is toasted. And this. Now, let's take a look at what's going on with this one. See? It has grown roots. That is why it is still alive. It has roots that can absorb moisture from the ground. Now, let's remove the dry leaves before putting it back. This is the perfect time to use my favorite tool in grooming succulents, these long gardening tweezers. I will leave a link in the description below where you can get one. Now, let's refresh this arrangement, but this time, let's use healthy plants. I have another cluster here, and the sizes of the plants are perfect for this planter. See how healthy this one is compared to the previous plant we used? And it's so easy to fix this arrangement because all we need to do is replace the plants. See how nice and plump this plant is? Dry leaves at the base of the plant are normal. It's the mushy leaves that are not. This looks a lot better now, but I think we can add more. I still have 3 more here, and I can add 2 more because I will leave one attached to the mother plant and pot it separately. Finally, this is a refreshed pot in a pot arrangement. I hope you learned something from this tutorial today, and if you tried growing succulents before and failed, do not give up. Understand the reason why it did not work the first time and learn from the mistakes you made. I too am growing succulents in a more challenging location now compared to where I previously grew them, but I appreciate the learning each time. Take care, everyone!